Today Baba is asking us to get rid of two words, if and but. Yes, and when we use this if and but, so we are not in the position of the Master Almighty. So Baba is powerful. Baba is the ocean of power, and we are his children. And Baba says, in my dictionary, there is no if and but. Does Baba say that I will go and change the world if the children cooperate? Does Baba say that? Yes, I will go and create heaven if, the atmosphere cooperates. No, there is no if. And Baba doesn't say, I had planned to do this, but this happened, so it couldn't get executed. So Baba has no if and but in his vocabulary. He knows that he is so powerful that he will do whatever he wants to do. Yes, and despite everything. So when we are the children of the all-powerful, then what is our vocabulary? Our vocabulary is, I belong to Baba, I will change my sanskar, and I will be the 100% instrument in changing the world. Yes, come what may, despite everything. So that's the language or the thought process of the child of the all-powerful. And if I have conditions, and you may not voice it out, but internally, if there is an if and but, then what happens? That becomes your limitation. Yes, so I remember there was this one brother some days back. He had come for the 6 a.m. class, and then I asked him, will you come tomorrow? He said, if I sleep early today, I'll come tomorrow. Yes. So I said, why? Does somebody stop you from sleeping early? So he said, no, sometimes, I don't feel sleepy, or so I sleep late. So I said, but it is you who has to make the choice, right? Sleeping early is completely up to you. So I said, yeah, it is up to me, but then, so I said, no, there is no if, there is no but. You are sleeping, you are making the decision, sleep early, come tomorrow. Okay, so he said, okay. And then he came. So, if you put a condition, so if you're mentally wiring yourself that I will do this if, then who is listening? Maya is listening. Yes, and Maya knows that Maya doesn't have to stop you from going to class. What does Maya has to do? Maya has to just take advantage of that if. Yes, so Maya will just not let you sleep early. And then Maya's job is done. Maya doesn't have to force you for not going to class or not doing Amrit Vela. So this if and but, and never give a reason. So whenever we give excuses, so but is the language for an excuse. So I had tried, but this happened, or I did my best, but. So no, but is the language of excuse. So no ifs, no buts. So there is no excuse, there is no condition. And Baba says, if children became free from these words, this language, this usage of this vocabulary, then we would, we would be able to work like Baba. So Baba has no ifs and buts, and that's why Baba is doing what he has come to do. And we think a lot. So, this expression Om Shanti. So when we explain Om, sometimes we give the explanation that Om means A, U, and M. Action, utterance, and mind. Yes. So what happens is your mind, so because we are Baba's children and we think like Baba, we think according to Baba's Srimad, so we create many elevated thoughts, don't we? So we create many good thoughts, we create many good plans. So you think about, completely adhering to the Brahmin lifestyle, and you think about doing seva, and you think about being disciplined, and think about being full of maryada. And there are lots of, we have really good intentions and really good thoughts. But what happens when those thoughts have to be executed? So when they have to come into word and action, what happens is they get caught up in this if and but. Yes, but if we just did away with these words and we knew that I am Baba's child, this pure intention that I have released, or this thought that I have created according to Baba's Srimad, has Baba's blessings. Yes, whenever you create a thought, when you make a decision according to Baba's Srimad, then that thought, that decision has Baba's blessings. And when there is Baba's blessings in that thought and decision, then obviously Baba is giving me, the full power to make it happen. And come what may, no circumstances, nothing can stop me. And this is going to become a reality. So instead of this if and but, we have to have this determined thought that this is and this will be. So Baba says, this is the sign of a powerful soul. And a powerful soul, when you know that you will tolerate, accommodate, face, discern, decide, do whatever it takes to execute it. You know that no problem is so big that, or no obstacle is so big that it can stop you. Obstacles will come, but you are the child of the Almighty. You have all the powers with you to overcome every obstacle. And when you move with that, awareness, then you will be able to achieve your goal. And there is this one thing that we understand in Gyan, which is very important. The sign of a good spiritual practitioner is not that, challenges won't come. Yes, or maybe, sometimes challenges will also put a comma in your journey. Right? Sometimes, there will be a small, a hindrance also. But the sign of a good spiritual practitioner is you bounce back. So, you again come to that full zeal and enthusiasm and again set out to do what Baba has told you to do. And if you are not stuck in the middle and nothing can stop you, then you will reach your aim very fast. And Baba says, if your mind is not limited by external conditions and you are not in the practice of making excuses, then challenges will come, obstacles will come, but you will be able to overcome them and reach your goal. And why are we not able to overcome them? Because in our inner world, we have conditioned ourselves that if this happens, then that will become a reason and I will get stuck in it. Yes, so if you have limited yourself like that, then that will become true and then that will limit you. So this is something. And then I will tell you another thing, sometimes it's not just about obstacles. It's also about, let me explain this with an example. So when I was working at that time, there was a colleague of mine, and he used to work in a division where there were a lot of bribes given. So one day he came and he told me that somebody offered me a bribe of 20,000 and I didn't take it. So I said, why? Because you're very honest. So he said, no, not because I'm honest, but that's not my rate. So, that's not my price. So I said, okay, what is your price? So he said, if somebody offers me 2 lakhs, then I'll do it. So I said, you see, you've said that that if this happens, then I will fall into that trap of greed that Maya is setting for me. So, about this lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed also, it's not just about purusharth, it's also about falling into vices. You have these ifs and buts conditioning. So inside you're programming that if a person offers so much, then I will, cross the line, or I will go overboard and, break the rules. And if that's the programming, then that's going to happen. And I told him, now that you have released this intention that if somebody offers me 2 lakhs, I will do it, then somebody will come and offer you that amount and then you will be sold. Yes, so let's look at ourselves very deeply. What are the ifs and buts in our inner world? So let's take, for example, somebody says that, you are here and taking sustenance from Baba, and then there is this mental, attitude that if this person is, if I find a person who is attractive and this and that, then I will fall for that person. Then, Maya will come and deceive you that way. And I will tell you one thing, there is this one girl and she's into a very bad toxic relationship, and that person is always beating her up and always hurling abuses at her. But then, every time I ask her what is going on in her mind, then she would say, if he just came and pleaded and said sorry, I would, again go with him. So he does that every time. He knows that that's the price he has to pay. Is just to come, he just has to come, plead and say sorry. And then she goes with him, and again he's just the same thing. It's the same pattern repeating. So, our maryadas also. So, not falling into the trap of attachment and lust, come what may. Even if the trap is very attractive, I don't have to fall into that trap. Even if that trap comes in the form of very sweet words, very sweet relationship, I don't have to fall into that. So I have to understand that there are lots of ifs and buts in my vocabulary. And even for Maya, I have set a lot of ifs and buts. So you don't have this 100% conviction that purity is beyond ifs and buts. No, there is, I will be pure if this, if that. Or let's take, for example, maybe anger. So I will not get angry if something is happening outside, or it's about somebody else, or it's about some other situation. But if somebody talks about my character, then I will get very angry. And this is a very subtle programming. If somebody comments on my dress, okay. Somebody comments on the looks, okay. But somebody comments on the character, then obviously it makes there's a case for anger. But if you do that, then somebody will come and comment on your character. Then what? Then you will lose it, and then you will create vikarma. So we have to understand that our commitment to Baba, to our commitment to Baba's task of seva, and our commitment to adhering to Baba's Shrimat has to be unconditional. Yes, our commitment to adhering to Baba's Shrimat and our commitment to the task of seva has to be unconditional. It doesn't have to be, if this happens, then I'll do it. And very related to this whole slogan is also the blessing today. And in the blessing, Baba says that, don't make facilities your support. Make your spiritual effort, your sadhana, or your spiritual stage, your foundation, and through that foundation you attract facilities. The facilities are not your foundation for spiritual endeavor. And in Hindi it is put very well, sadhan is not your foundation, sadhana is your foundation. Now let's understand how these two things are connected. Let's say, you are a sevadhari. You are committed to doing seva. And then you have this thing in your head that if my husband gives me so much of money, or if I have this much of resource, then I'll do seva. Yes? So then, who is making you eligible for seva? The husband. Yes? Who can limit you from doing seva? The husband. But if you know that, I am a sevadhari and Baba will make me an instrument and make me do this much seva, despite everything. So, then Baba will give you the resources. Why do you think that you will give the resources to Baba? Baba will give you the resources and help you make your fortune also. But these are limitations. You think that, some human, some facilities, your job, this, that. Sometimes people say, I cannot do seva because I am not working. But even if you are not working, you are eating, clothing, you are doing everything. Then why can't you do seva if you are not working? So the one who is giving you resource for everything, can't he give you the resources for seva? But why are you putting this condition inside that only if I have this facility, this source of income, this support from a family member, only then can I do seva? And Baba today very clearly says that if you make a facility, a job, a person, anything, a people, places, things, anything, if you make that your foundation for spiritual effort and seva, so my self progress and seva depends on these factors going right, then what happens is you have left Baba. So who is the one who will give you the strength and the support to follow Baba's maryadas, and who is the one who will give you the strength and support to do seva? It is Baba, not a people, place or thing. That's not your foundation. But when you make that your foundation and you do it very subtly, then what happens is Baba is but you've removed Baba from the between. So Baba is no longer there in the picture. Then if this resource supports, if this person helps, then this will happen. Then you will make spiritual effort or do seva. But Baba says, Baba is your support. You look at Mama. What did Mama say? Mama always said, जो सेवा देगा वो शक्ति भी देगा. So if Baba has given me the seva, Baba will give me the power. So that's the meaning of having one strength and one support. But if you think that Baba has given me this seva, but I will get my support from somewhere else, then what are you doing? You think that somebody refusing or something refusing will stop you from doing seva. And you've already blocked your, doors and windows. And when you sit in that kind of a cage, then obviously you cannot make any self-progress. So today Baba says, don't make sadhan your foundation. Make sadhana your foundation. And Baba says, even if you use resources, they shouldn't become your foundation. And in the Murli also, I gave the example of an alarm clock. Yes, let's say if the alarm clock doesn't go off one day, then will you not wake up for Amrit Vela? Yes, so is the alarm waking you up for Amrit Vela? Then the alarm should go to Satyug, because the alarm is so on time. So you are just making an effort based on the alarm. So the alarm is the actual spiritual effort maker, I think. So Baba says, okay, you put the alarm, that's okay. But don't depend on the alarm. How do you do that? You don't think that when you sleep, don't tell yourself, I will get up when the alarm goes off. Tell yourself, Baba will wake me up and I'll get up. And you will see that you will get up and switch off the alarm before it's time for it to go off. Yes, and even if you've set the alarm, okay, don't depend on it. Okay, so you have to understand, you have to discern which sadhan are you depending on. Let's say, you are using, so sometimes, and I'll tell you one incident. So I went to this one Mata's place one time, and she had a chair and she had some problems with her back. She had this backache and all. And then she had a particular chair. And then that chair was put in the meditation room, Baba Kamra. And then she told me, when we went to the Baba Kamra, she told me, Didi, it's just because of this chair that I am able to sit and meditate. So I heard that, I didn't say anything. And then later on I asked her, what if that chair is not there? Will you not be able to meditate? Then she said, sitting becomes a problem. So I said, how about standing? Can you not stand and remember Baba? So she said, yeah, so should I remove the chair? So I said, it's not about the chair. It's about you thanking the chair. It's about you forgetting to thank Baba. It's about you forgetting that it's Baba who is the true support. That's the issue. So when you get up, you sit on the chair, but never create this thought that if this chair is not there, then I can't sit and meditate. You must know that if I can't sit and meditate, I can stand and meditate. If I can't stand and meditate, I can sleep and remember Baba. I can lie down and remember Baba. Baba doesn't say that you can't lie down and remember me. Yes, but if you have started thanking the chair for your remembrance, then there is a problem with it. Yes, or you so any kind of strength and support. So I remember that Dadi Janki used to say that when we started doing seva, there were no facilities. There was not even a clock. There was not even a carpet, nothing to sit on. So there were no facilities. And that with that situation, so in one of the classes, Dadi said, "Na dari thi, na ghadi thi." So the dari and ghadi were not there, and there were no facilities. And until then, I had never thought of the dari and ghadi as a resource or a facility. And we take so many things for granted. Suddenly I realized that day that I never thought that this clock is my facility, or I'm looking at the clock and thinking it's 4:45 or it's 5 a.m. and now this song has to go off and the meditation is over. So we don't think about how many things we are depending on. And I remember this one experience that one Dadi was sharing, that she was in a meeting where everybody was committing that we will contribute this much of finance to a big seva that was happening. So there was some construction, something going on in Madhuban, and at that time every Dadi, they were telling that okay, we will contribute this much. And then this Dadi, she was serving in a place where there were not many children contributing a lot. And then she just had this thought that, so what, Baba will make me do it. And she gave a very hefty she made a commitment for a very hefty contribution. And everybody started looking at her, how is she committing so much and how will she be able to do that? And then somebody asked, do you have this kind of resource? How will you contribute to this seva? And then she said, Baba will make me do it. I want to do it, so Baba will make me do it. And then what happened? She went back to her place of seva, and days passed by and nothing was happening. So she did not have those resources. And then she started telling Baba, Baba, you have to help me, and I've made a commitment and there something needs to be done. And then there was this one brother, he came and he said he handed over that same exact amount of money, and he told her, use this for seva, Dadi. And then Dadi said, but why are you giving this to me and why all of a sudden? So he said that my wife used to come here and she died some days back, and before she died she had written a will and she said that this much should go to that Dadi. And so that's her inheritance and that's her last wish, so I've come to give it to you. And then suddenly she had everything that she had committed and she went and gave it for Yagya Seva. So you see that even when we make a commitment for seva, whether it is a commitment of contributing some speciality that you have, or contributing by way of doing some physical seva, or something through the mind, or something through resources, don't think that don't have this limitation that if this thing happens or this person cooperates or this situation goes in a certain way, then I'll fulfill the commitment. No, you make Baba your backbone. So even if that person or that method or that stream will become an instrument, but don't rely on that, rely on Baba. And also Baba says something very important, which is If you have made Baba your backbone, your foundation, then you earn Baba's blessings also. And let's say you depended on a person, or let's take the example of the alarm clock. Who is getting the blessings? The alarm clock, not you. So so the alarm clock is making you get up. The alarm clock is getting the blessing, not you. Okay, so even if you've set the alarm clock, if you know that Baba will wake me up, then when you get up, you get Baba's blessings because you thank Baba. First thought goes to Baba. Yes, and I remember there was this one Mata, and she had pledged to have pure food, and then she had gone to her son's place, and her son stays abroad, and then she used to cook her meals in the son's place also and everything. And then one day her son just sat down and he told her, Mom, I have just one request. Before you go, we have to go out for dinner one day, and you have to eat something with me, and I feel very stranded and very this. And then she called me and she said, what will I tell him now? What will I do there? How will I plan? What excuse should I make? So I said, leave it to Baba. And you just know that you will not do anything against Baba's Maryada. You have this full conviction and Baba will help you. And then, she said that we were sitting on that table, and then suddenly my son, he offered me something, and he said, Mom, let me serve you. And then I had not told anything to anyone, but my husband, who is generally a very angry person, and he never supports this practice of mine, he said, all of a sudden, out of the blue, he's told my son, don't you know your mother doesn't eat this? So why are you telling her to eat? And my son just kept quiet and I didn't have to say anything. And my husband has never supported in my life, like he has never told that, I'll take a stand for her or nothing. But out of the blue, he just spoke that, don't you know that your mother doesn't eat all this? And then my son just took a step back, and then I took out my fruits from my bag and I ate happily and I came. And then I told my son, I had not said no to you, but you see, if your father knows this much and he was getting angry, how could I? So then my son also said, okay, it's fine. So you see that if you don't depend on, you are not, so you have one strength and one support, which is Baba, and you have no ifs and buts. You are very clear that I have to stick to Baba's Maryadas, come what may. I have to be a complete instrument in Baba's Seva, come what may. And I have to, adhere to this discipline of purity, come what may. If you have this internal deep commitment, then Baba will come to your rescue and Baba will help you. But if you have this if and but, then then those ifs and buts will create your destiny. And then in order to draw support, you need complete surrender, complete unconditional surrender. When there is no complete unconditional surrender, you cannot draw Baba's support. And when there is complete surrender to Baba's Shrimat, to Baba's Seva, then you will draw Baba's support, and where there is Baba's support, you will never fail. Okay, so this is what Baba is saying. And today in the Murli, Baba is also talking about, having a Sato Pradhan intellect and all, but I will not go into that. That's a big topic again. I will take only one little thing from the Murli. Baba today says, make unhappy people happy. Yes, make unhappy people happy. But you don't make unhappy people happy through their idea of happiness or your idea of happiness. So, when somebody has a certain idea of happiness, feeding that idea of happiness is not making them happy. Or you have an idea of happiness and feeding that is not making someone happy. Let's say I have an idea of happiness that going on holiday is a happiness. So don't use that. Somebody has an idea that engaging in lust is happiness. That's not your duty to make that, fulfill that idea of happiness. So Baba says, understand happiness. Happiness comes when you follow Srimad. So, a person who is a slave of vices and a person who wastes time, thought and money, a person who is not disciplined can never be happy. Understand this. If you're wasting time, thought and energy, if you're wasting money, if you are working under the influence of vices, you can never be happy. Yes, this is why Baba says, I cannot give blessings, because what is the whole idea of a blessing? Or Ashirvad, Baba says, मैं आशीर्वाद नहीं देता. So the whole idea of a blessing is, you make me happy, I am not doing anything for it. But the thing is, you have to do something to be happy. And the subtlest form of action is remembrance of Baba, or being soul conscious, or just stopping wasting your time, thought and money. If you stopped wasting it also, you'll be happy. So make unhappy ones happy by inspiring them to do good karma through your actions. So when you do good karma with grace, dignity and happiness, when you do good karma with grace, dignity and happiness, and when that faith in you is there, that this is good karma and this is creating my fortune, and you do good karma and you are very sure about it, then you inspire many others around you to do that. And when they do it, they will be happy. So, there's this one girl and she comes at 6 in the morning, and there's her friend also. And so, when she gets up every day in the morning, and very happily she's getting up, not like, oh, I have to go at 6 and, I have a commitment, not like that. She's been coming just for a few days, but every day she happily gets up and comes. So, her friend asked her, what are you so happy about getting up early in the morning? So she said, I love going to the class and I love what's being taught there. So that friend also got up and came. And now they are both happily getting up and coming. So if you are doing good karma happily, if you are doing seva, if you are following maryadas in a happy state, and you understand the importance of it and you're doing it, then you will inspire many others, and it is only through good karma that they can be happy. Okay, Om Shanti.